Vegetables, or greens as they are popularly known locally, is a staple in most Guyanese homes, with each community being in close proximity to marketplaces where fresh produce can be purchased. These fresh veggies are incorporated into our daily meals. However, due to the adverse effects of COVID-19 on households, many are returning to planting their own vegetables in their respective kitchen gardens. This tradition is popular in countryside areas where families grow crops in small amounts to supply themselves and neighbors. Joshua Macy, a graduate of the Guyana School of Agriculture, maintains a wide variety of vegetables in his kitchen garden.
It's been about 2 years plus I've been doing kitchen gardening. So I have to finish in GSA. I get a year after I get really lazy. I said, nah, I gotta do something. So I started my garden, get my mud, and I started up. This is like my third cycle.
I have cauliflower, cabbage, bolange as my seedlings.
Some okra over there. I get my borer sticks, pot leaf thyme, basil, chili pepper, and Suriname thyme in this bucket. Turmeric, Jamaican Scotch pepper.
Named Majito's Village after a combination of his nicknames, and his garden being a little village for his cats that roam and play about all day. Joshua expresses his love for the garden as well as explaining how he spent the time away from work during COVID-19, focusing on transforming and taking care of his garden.
Every time I'm in the garden, they would meet my villagers. Since the COVID came, I had more time to research, look after my plants, and figure out more to applying the knowledge I have to my garden. So it's been very interesting. I was saying, COVID gave me time to sit down and just analyze and know what to do for my kitchen garden. Still learning.
He explains simple steps anyone can take to start their own garden. These are narrowed down to having an idea of what you'd like to grow in your garden, knowing and taking into consideration the space available to initiate your garden.
Why location is important is because sunlight. Some plants require 5 hours, 6 hours, some plants just in the morning time, some plants in the afternoon.
Knowing your soil type and the watering system your garden will need.
Say your backyard gets soil, so you get mud. Sometimes it have mud, but it isn't nutritious. Sometimes the soil is dark and very nutritious. So depending on if you plant something, say you plant just one plant, so you're assessing the soil, the nutrition quality of the soil. So you plant a few plants. So maybe if you plant your first crop, it might not come out okay, and that's okay. So after you assess the soil, you need nutrients. You get your manure, you mix it in your soil, and you leave it about 2 weeks so it can sit and release the nutrients within the soil. Why I say watering? Some plants don't need the excessive water, so you can set up like bore some hole in a bottle, put it in this, fold it up, put it in the soil, so you don't need to keep watering the plants. They get ready to be available. Your water can, you water in the morning, in the afternoon. If you want to water yourself, get up in the morning, you water. You water in the morning, you water in the evening. If you don't have time to water in, you set up a container, a water bottle, or a clay container, you know them clay pots. You put a hole, put it right next to the plant, put it in, and you put water inside of it. So the water could last about 3 days. It's slowly released within the soil and the water.
As well as the kind of care required to maintain the garden.
So it's like a baby. You make sure they're healthy as when they're small, so that when they're growing up, they will be strong.
Once you have taken all of this into consideration, it's time to start planting. You will first decide your planting method, whether you wish to plant the seeds or seedlings of each crop, giving adequate spacing.
Planting from seed, sometimes you need like a germination soil. So you need the soil to be more nutritious than the soil that is on the garden. So if you plant it from seed, I use an egg tray. Mix up a nice germination soil, egg tray, and put my seed in.
What does a germination soil consist of?
germination soil consists of more nutritious soil. When I say nutritious, I mean the ratio is more manure than soil, so that it can ensure that the plant have the nutrients needed to germinate, to spark a germination. If you're doing it from seedlings, don't just have the soil that come in with the seedling. Put it in with it. Don't try your best not to break the main roots and so on. Like 2 centimeters apart sometimes. Some plants need more, like about an inch apart and so on. So when I get depending on what plant you're planting. So let's say we're doing cash crops. 6 centimeters apart, 12 centimeters apart. You go down about 2 meters deep, and then you make sure you pull your seedlings from the root area and put it in, then you cover. And I try to mix with a little manure just around and then cover.
Your crops will need to be watered in a timely manner and in the proper way.
Make sure you water it on time. If you water in the morning, you water in the evening. On hot days, you water extra. You need to give it extra water. And try in the evening, when you're watering, try not to wet the leaf, because this is where nighttime, the wet leaf produce some pests like it, so some pests come out. So you try not to wet the leaf. You go directly to the roots and you wet the soil.
Be certain to remove weeds growing among crops, as well as paying attention to and getting rid of pests that may be eating your crops.
When I say weed, pull out necessary weeds from around it so it can't compete. Just watch your garden. If you get pest attack, it's okay. You get the chemicals, you research what chemicals you need. You could try organic pesticide.
There are a plethora of benefits to having your own kitchen garden. First of all, it saves you money you would spend on produce at the market. And it may even help you to gain an extra dollar by selling if you have excess. The produce will have less chemicals, since some farmers use fertilizers which aid in prolonging the shelf life of vegetables sold at marketplaces. It is also scientifically proven that being around plants is nature's way of relieving stress. Interactions with your plants daily will lift your mood. And finally, knowledge of horticulture. When you are engaged in gardening, you learn a lot about each fruit and vegetable you grow. You learn about the kinds of soil and how to treat bugs. So these are benefits of having your own kitchen garden and growing fruits and vegetables, or even different kinds of herbs. By now, you must have definitely gathered some ideas about the positive side of having a kitchen garden. So what are you waiting for? It's time to get planting.